Okay, another problem that some people tend to struggle with on this review sheet is this matrix word problem. So I just thought I would provide some help with this. Hopefully you've already read through the problem and what is being asked of you. We have information about different types of tickets, and we also have information about the number of tickets that were sold on particular days. So getting right to what we're instructed to do, write a ticket prices matrix, a number of tickets sold matrix, and then eventually we need to write them so that we can multiply them together. That's what this final matrix is going to represent, the product of the two, a matrix that represents the daily revenue. Revenue is just another way of saying money that was collected from selling all the tickets. Okay, well, we're going to do them in the order that they are asked, and there's a reason for that. So let's start with this ticket prices matrix. The bottom line of this is, since I do need to write a product matrix, I've got to be careful that I write the dimensions. I set these up so that the dimensions allow me to multiply. Okay, for example, let's start first with this number of tickets sold matrix. Let's just think about that for a second. We're given information here about number of tickets sold. There are three different types of tickets being sold: orchestra, mezzanine, and balcony, and they are sold on three different days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So hopefully you can tell that this number of tickets sold matrix is going to be a 3 by 3. Okay, well, now let's back up for just a minute and think about, before we even start, think about this ticket prices matrix. We have prices for three different types of seats. Okay, so we're going to have prices as a row or a column, and then the different types of seats will be the other way. Okay, but if I'm going to multiply these together, since it's either going to be, the ticket prices matrix is either going to be a 1 by 3, prices being the row and the types being the columns, or it's going to be the other way around. Well, in order to make these multiply together, the ticket prices matrix has to be a 1 by 3, because that would make the inside numbers match. And then that would again tell me what the product matrix should be. The product matrix in the end will be a 1 by 3. So thinking about this a little bit ahead of time, before you just jump right in and start setting up the matrices, this is kind of a test on whether or not you know to set these up in a way that they can be multiplied together, thinking about the dimensions. All right, so now that we know that the ticket prices matrix needs to be a 1 by 3, then that makes it really pretty easy to set up. We'll have prices as the row, 1 row, and 3 columns. And of course, the 3 columns will be the different types of seats. I'm just going to abbreviate: orchestra, mezzanine, and balcony. All right, so we're told that the orchestra seats are $7, mezzanine $6, and the balcony $5. Okay, and that's going to be multiplied times this number of tickets sold matrix. All right, and we do have to be somewhat careful here. Make a little bit of room here for labels. Okay, so we need to make sure that when we multiply, for example, orchestra tickets prices, the prices of orchestra tickets are being multiplied times the number sold for orchestra. and mezzanine times the number of sold for mezzanine, and so forth. Okay, so the way we're going to set this up then is we're going to have orchestra, mezzanine, balcony as the row. Because remember, when I multiply matrices together, it's row times column. So this first column, for example, is going to represent Thursday sales. Okay, so let's just take a look at that before we go any further. The number of tickets sold on Thursday was 150 for orchestra, 125 for mezzanine, and 60 for balcony. But when I do my row times column multiplication, before we go any further, maybe I should just check this out and make sure that it's right. I'm going to be matching up orchestra with orchestra, prices, number of sold, mezzanine with mezzanine, and balcony with balcony. So that works out really well. Okay, that would give me the total amount of dollars taken in for Thursday for all three types of tickets. All right, so let's fill in the Friday amount. 130 orchestra, 130 mezzanine, and 52 balcony. And then for Saturday, we have 160 orchestra, 175 mezzanine, and 80. Okay, so now we're ready to multiply these together, and we already know that the result is going to be a 1 by 3 matrix, and a matrix that represents the daily revenue. Okay, so the columns will represent the days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then that one row will represent the revenue. All right, and so now your calculator is really going to come in handy, because these numbers obviously get quite big. So for Thursday revenue, we kind of looked at this a little bit earlier. It's going to consist of $7 times 150. So I'll just kind of do that as I go. 7 times 150 plus 6 times 125 6 times 125, and then you add to that 5 times 60. Okay, add those products up, and you should end up with Thursday revenue of $2,100. You should put a dollar sign there. Okay, so that's Thursday, and hopefully you get the idea for the rest. Maybe I won't finish this off, but I'll save you a little bit of time. You know what the answer is. You can get that from Moodle. But let me just go ahead and help you. I'll do this in blue. For Friday, very similar. 7 times 130 plus 6 times 130 plus 5 times 52. And that result should go here in dollars. And then finally, for Saturday, you should get 7 times 160. Remember, we're just doing row times column, plus 6 times 175 plus and 5 times 80. And once you do those, that will finish up this final answer. So that is the result. You'll be doing something very similar to that on your test, taking a word problem, writing matrices that can be used to be multiplied together to get a finished, a product matrix. Okay, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions.